Good afternoon, guys. And today our topic is verification of Norton theorem. Please just open your VLab, then you can get analog signal, network and measurement under electronics department. Then you click over there and you can get this thing. Okay. So please open within 2 or 5 minutes. Please open. Uh, Open this verification of Norton theorem. Then I will one by one going to there. Please join immediately. Okay, guys, today our topic is verification of Norton theorem. Okay, verification of Norton theorem. In previous classes, you have seen what is the Norton theorem. Once again, just remember the circuit. If there is any circuit and there is some conditions are there, just like a bilateral, linear, these conditions are there. If this type of circuit maintain this quality, then we can replace all the circuit into a current source and with parallel a equivalent resistance and removing the RL load. Okay, so if this is a circuit, we have to first remove this load resistance. This is RL. You can see this, and here is it is showing that RL. So RL is removed, then we can total circuit, if we short this, and we can get a equivalent circuit which is consist of a current source parallel with a equivalent resistance, that is called internal resistance, or you may call it, that is the Norton resistance. Okay, then again we may replace this RL load at the short position, then we can easily calculate the current through this RL load. Okay, so here you can see the statement. The objective is to verify the Norton theorem, and then a linear active, just remember this thing, linear active consisting of independent and or dependent voltage source. and current source, it may be voltage source, it may be current source, and a linear bilateral network. These are the conditions. Then elements can be replaced by an equivalent circuit consisting of consisting of current source in parallel with, just remember, in Norton theorem we are applying the current source and parallel with internal resistance, current source parallel with internal resistance. If it is a Thevenin theorem, just like same things is there, but it will be replaced by the voltage source series with the internal resistance. But in Norton theorem, this is the current source in parallel with the internal resistance, is the current source being the short circuit current across the load terminal, and the resistance being the internal resistance of the source network looking through the open circuited load terminal. In order to find the current to the RL, the load resistance of the figure 1 by Norton's theorem, let replace RL, means this load resistance, by short circuit as shown in the figure 2. You can see this is the figure 2. So what they want to say, actually this is called some condition. First, remember some conditions, that is, this network should be bilateral. It may be a independent source or dependent source, but the element should be linear. And bilateral, active, and linear network, which may be a voltage source and current source, which may be consist of a dependent source or independent source, whatever may be. But one thing is common there, the components are the linear, so all resistance should be there, then it will verify, it will satisfy this linear. Okay, then this circuit could be replaced by a short circuit current. What is the short circuit position? Short circuit position is the just replacing this RL load and short them, then it became a short circuit. Then we have to find out the short circuit current and parallel with a resistance. And which resistance? This resistance is just like this: when the terminal is open, load terminal is open, and all other sources are removed, then we can get the internal resistance. So this internal resistance will be the parallel with this current source. Which current source? The short circuit current source. This terminal, load terminal, will be short, and then we have to measure the current, that is called short circuit terminal current. Then this we can easily again counting this load resistance, and we can get at what is the current flowing through this load resistance. So this is the statement end of this Norton theorem. Okay, then they are one by one they are counting this, and this is the statement. Again, you can see there is the current, short circuit current, and this is the internal resistance RINT, and it is parallel with this is current source. And then we can again apply this load resistance, and we can find out the current through this load resistance. Okay, by applying the current division rules. Okay, this is the all about your theory. Whenever you go for your lab report, then you have to copy it, you have to write it, or you may write it in your own hand, or you may type it, and the theory portion is there. But now we have to go for the simulator, then we can do this. Okay, here is the simulator is there, we just open it. I think you can show. Okay, so here is this is our operational kit, and here the procedures is given there, we have to study once. And you can see this is case 1, case 2a, case 2b, and case 3. Then we can go for the simulate, and we get the result. First, how we could do this? Look here, you can see this circuit, just in your previous circuit you have seen this is the load resistance. This is the load resistance RL is here at the right side of the circuit, and here is the voltage source, 220 voltage source, but it is a DC source. You can see here this is positive sign, here this is negative sign, so this is a DC source, and here only the load is normal resistance R1 is there. Here you can see that is the again a resistance is there. You can a ammeter is given there so that you can measure this current passing through it. Okay. Another thing is given there, that is a voltmeter. You can also check this voltage or the voltmeter. So this is your circuit and this is your normal this circuit. Okay, so we have to, how could I do this? Just allow JavaScript in your browser, keep all the resistance R1, R2, R3 close to their respective maximum value. Choose any arbitrary value of the V1 and this V2. Okay, so this is a voltage. You can see here is some voltage sources there. This is 0 to 2, or this is a voltmeter, not voltage source is given there. I don't want. I can see what is the V2 over there. No, this is no V2 is there. Okay, just one voltage source is there.
Equal to 110, sir.
Yes, yes.
V2 equal to 1 cent shown in the figure.
Where is it? V2
Below the power.
Here.
Second one.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes, here is some V2 source. Yes, yes, I can see. This is the V1 and this is the V2. So you can see it in voltmeter also. So two voltage source are there. Now what is the procedure? Select S1 to the power, select S1 to the power and S2 to the load and simulate the program for the case 1 tab. Observe the result of the load current. First you have to select S1 to the power and S2 to the load, means it will connect it in this area. So you can get the result. Then Norton short circuit current analysis. Apply switch 1, means this switch, and apply the switch 1 S1 to the power and S2 to the short. Whenever you short this, look here, you can get this is the short. Okay, so S2 to the short, simulate the program and read the Norton short circuit current. Okay, whenever you short this, then you can get this short circuit current. Short circuit current will be get by this ammeter. Okay, then Norton resistance analysis. Applying switch S1 to the short, because voltage source should be short. Okay, and current source should be open. Just remember, if there is any voltage source, then it will be short with their internal resistance, but no internal resistance is there, so just short it. And if there is a current source for the other, then you have to open the current source. Okay, then we can get the equivalent resistance. Apply the switch S1 to the power and S2 to the short circuit and simulate the program and read the Norton short circuit current ISC from the S2. And now Norton resistance analysis. Apply switch 1 to the short and S2 to the power, S2 to the power, and simulate the program and read the Norton resistance Rin from the case 2 tab. Okay, here this is going to the power condition, and then we can get the resistance. Okay, now using ISC and the Rn, determine the load current, simulate the program and read the circuit IL from the case 3 and compare the load current IL obtained from the case 1 tab. Then click the button on to fill the data and observe the table. So one by one we are doing this as they are described. Here we don't perform any other things which are not allowed by here. We don't remove these things. We whatever they told, we have to do this. So just follow this. First case, select switch S1 to the power and S2 to the load. Okay, S2 to the load, S2 to the load, and S1 to the power. Okay, it is power. Then just simulate it. Yes, if we simulate it, then we can see there is the current flowing is 0.28387. It is normal current. Okay, this voltage source is not acting over there because it is connected to the load. So it is just connected to the load. It is not acting over there, and whatever we get, this is the actually voltage across this terminal. Okay, now you can see something 85.161 volt. Okay, so it is the voltage across this load, and current is flowing normal circuit. This is the normal simple circuit. Now no operations is going over. This is 0.08387. Okay, now for the case 2, Norton short circuit current analysis. Now we have to say this is case 2a. Norton short circuit current analysis. Apply S1 power and S to the short, S1 to the power, S2 to the short, simulate the program, and Norton short circuit current ISC from the case 2a tab. Okay, so case 2a tab, we have to do, this is power and this is short because this terminal became short. Okay, so going to the short, is short. Then we get, whenever you short this, you can see this voltage is 0. This voltage is 0. You can see, because in a short terminal, say this is the current is flowing. If you want to measure this voltage, is no voltage difference you can find until and unless it was going on, because it is short, so it has no voltage. Okay, and this is the A current. Look, in this case current became high because short circuit current is high. Just simulate, you get this. Now Norton resistance. Apply S1 to short and S2 to the power, and simulate the apply S1 to the short and S2 to the power, simulate the program and read the Norton resistance Rn in case 2b. Actually, why this voltage source is given? Without this, you can't measure any resistance, total resistance over there. V by I is given, so it will be given this resistance. So it will not just like our normal calculation is going there. Is just short. Look, here it is given, apply S1 to the short and S2 to the power. Yes, we have given this power.
Hello sir, hello.
Yes, yes.
केस 2 टैब बी में न करेगा सर अप्लाई.
हाँ हाँ, केस 2b हम अभी तक नहीं किए. केस 2 में देखो, apply switch S1 to the short, S1 to the short, and S2 to the power, S2 to the power, and simulate the program and read the Norton resistance Rin from the case 2b tab. So case 2b tab, this is short, this is power, and we have to go here. Here we have to go. Then we can get, look here, V and I will get, and then if we divide it, then we'll get the resistance, because this is not your paper and pen, so that if you don't apply this voltage, then we couldn't find out the resistance. In our paper pen, we are calculating by summation, because it will be open and then one by one count it. This and this will parallel, then equivalent resistance will add it to this. But here this scope is not there. That's why this voltage source is applied over here, and we can get the current. So total current we can, if we get, then we can divide it. Look, just voltage source and this current, we can divide it, then we can get the RN. So have you any confusion? Hello, have you any confusion? Okay, I just simulate. Look, if you divided this, look, this voltage source is applied. Actually, in your multimeter, we also apply this. Some 9-volt sources we are applying. Then how much current is flowing, we have to measure. Then if we divided it, then we can get this resistance. Okay. So this is our Norton resistance. Rn means total equivalent resistance. But actually in your practical, in your theoretical, this V2 source is not stated anywhere, because we are just, if you go for, there is some confusion is there uh, for uh, for you. But here, first time whenever I perform this, then I also confused. But now I think yes, it is why there, because it is not matching with this theory. In this theory, not no voltage V2 source is there. Okay, no voltage V2 source is there. But why this is given? Why this voltage source is given? Because this is a on-board performance. So we have to measure by digitally. We don't measure this resistance by your paper and pen. Whatever we do in this theorem, paper and pen, say here this is formula is given, just this and this, if I starting counting, these and these are, these are parallel, and then it will be series. Okay, so in this way we can do this. But here nothing is there, so we have to short this. We get the circuit. So if I apply some voltage over there, and we can measure also current, so we can measure the current at across this portion, and we can measure the voltage across this portion. So if I divide the current, voltage by current, this voltage by this current, then we easily get the resistance over there. And this resistance is actually the open circuit terminal resistance. This is the equivalent resistance of the circuit. Could you remember this thing? Say in this circuit, if if you have given a paper and pen, you easily calculate this parallel, this and with this equivalent, and this is the series. But here if we apply some no paper and pen, digital medium, to find out this current, find out this resistance, how could I find out? Just we have to measure this portion and this portion across this voltage, and we have to measure also the current over there. Okay, then voltage by current equal to the resistance. So they are doing this. That's why this voltage source are applied over this circuit. Actually, if you in our practical kit, after a few days I will show you in our practical kit by your video, then you can see we are calculating by our multimeter. So multimeter also a voltage source is there. There is a 9 volt voltage source is there. So this type of action is there. Okay, that's why don't get confused after seeing this V2 source. This is not under the theorem. This is due to measurement of current and voltage across this terminal. This C and this is something is there. Nothing is showing. This point and this point, we are getting some voltage and we are getting some current. Voltage by current, that is given the resistance R. Okay, so Rn is the internal resistance is there. Now we are going for the case 3. Using ISC and Rn, determine the load current. We have to measure the load current. Now simulate the program and read the load current RL from the case 3. It tab compare the load current and IL and obtain the case from the case 1 tab. Taking click button on the to fill the data, means simulate the data. Just keep going to the case 3. You can see in case 3 this circuit is not there. A new equivalent circuit is given. You can see this is the ISC and this is the RN and this is the load resistance RL. Okay, so whenever you can see, guys, could you see this? Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. I think you can understand. So whenever you connect this, then you have to simulate it. You can get this ammeter current over there. There, this ammeter current is given here. So just I give to simulate. Yes, this is 0.28387. Just we have to check if this current is equal to the case 1. If you fill this data table, you can find it. Now just remember this thing, or you may note down it. Yes, Okay, observation table is update, change the resistance. Okay, just first case you can get this data. In first case you got this current is flowing over there, that is 0.28387, and now whenever we apply by the load Norton theorem, we also get 28387. Okay, so the verification or Norton theorem is done. It is okay. Is that okay to all of you? Is that okay to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then we have to perform so many things. Uh, okay. So your attendance is given over there. Okay. After performing this, you have to show these things so that we can understand. Yes, you can perform this. Now another things. This is the first. So one by one we have to do for the fifth. Okay. So just we can see by using the different cases. For say we can define, we can change this, just we are applying 200 volt. Okay, this is 200 volt, and we just first time we change this. Look, in this case one, what we have to do, this should be power and this should be load, because current is flowing through this area and we have to measure what is the current. Okay, just remember this, just simulate it. Yes, this is current 0.25806, 0.25806 is the current flowing to the load resistance 300. So we have to check if uh, after applying this Norton theorem, if this is correct or not, because I just changed this. They prescribe that you have to change everything one by one. So in the second step, what we want to do? Oh, in second step, we have to short this S1. So remove this voltage source, just like your theory, remove this your voltage source, and you have to measure the short circuit current. Okay. So here again I am telling that is S1 should be short, S to the power. Sorry, here S1 to the power and S2 is the short, so that we get short circuit current. Now which will get, this is the short circuit current. It will change. Look, whenever I simulate, yes, this is short circuit current is 0.61538. Okay, this current is given, and now we have to measure the resistance over there. So how, why could I do this? Just we have to short it. So this voltage source was removed, and we can get, we have to power here, so that we can get the voltage and current over there. Okay, and whenever you power there, this portion was out, because switch is in this portion. Switch is three portion is there, you can see. One is short, another is load, and another is this power section. Switch is come here, so nothing is there. So just simulate it. Okay, this is called switch one should be the power. Okay, switch one should be, this is the first portion was done. Now this is our second portion. Okay, yes, second portion, it is short and this is power. Then we can measure the resistance. Just measure. Yes, we can get, this is the voltage, this is the current. So voltage by current, if you go for the calculator, then you can find it out. Okay, this portion of current is flowing. So uh, this portion of resistance is there, that's why this amount of current is flowing. If you go for calculator, just see. Okay guys, just divide, I think you can see this calculator also. Yes, it is shown. Okay, if you put this resistance voltage by this current, so voltage is 110 divided by this point 5 0769. You can find that is 16. This is sorry, 216.667. 216.667 is it is it is adjusted up to 67. Okay, so this amount of resistance is there. This is called the Norton resistance. Okay, or you may say this is the internal resistance. So we got this. Now in this case 3, we got the short circuit current as well as the internal resistance. Now in the case 3, what happens? In case 3, you can get, look, this is the ISC. First time you got this from there, and this is the internal resistance, and again we add this resistance. So by applying this current division rule, we can get easily how much amount of current is flowing. So simulate it, we get this. Just fill it this data. You can get, first time it was flowing 0.25806 over here. Here also we are getting 0.25806 amount of current is flowing over there. Okay, I think you got this by varying this portion. Now I want to vary the load resistance. Second step. Okay, so in your previous cases it was 220 volt DC. It was 220 volt DC, but I want to apply just like a multimeter. Multimeter has the only 9 volt load. So I want to apply the 9 volt load. Just write it down. 9 volt load. What happens? I want to see this. Load resistance is again 30, but here is, you can see there is 9 volt load because a multimeter carry the only 9 volt battery. Okay, so voltage source is 9 volt over there. So in first case, you have to see that S1 should be power, S2 should be the load, because normal circuit is going over there. Normal current is flowing there. How much current is flowing here in circuit? How much current is flowing here? And it is given by this portion. Okay. So once if I simulate it, you can get this is 28387. 28387. Just like your previous first case, 28387, because your voltage source is actually this. Okay. Second case, we have to measure the short circuit current, just power, and we have to short this power and short this. Then we can measure, yes, this current is short circuit current 67692. Okay. Next time we go for the third case, we have to measure the resistance across this terminal. So whenever this terminal should be short, only this 9 volt is applying to measure the voltage and current across these two terminals, so that we can get voltage by current equal to the resistance. Otherwise, no purpose is fulfilling by this voltmeter, voltage source. You don't get confused with this voltage source. This is just like a multimeter you are applying there, but actually in theory, no statements is there or no positions is there for the another voltage source. Okay, so we have to measure the voltage source. We are applying the 9 volt, and how we have to measure the current, how much current is flowing through this circuit due to all other resistance are there. So just simulate it. Please select S1 to the short. Okay, S to the power. Yes, I have to power. Yes, then we have to simulate. Yes, we get voltage source is 9, current is 0.04 something, 15 ampere. So resistance is 216.67. Okay, 216.67. Just remember this thing. We have to verify for every angle. Okay, each angle. So then we go for the third case. We got this. Yes, resistance is Rn is 216.67 and ISC is 0.67. This is, and load resistance is same. So if I simulate, we get 28387. Just remember, yes, just fill this data. Now we have to measure we have to measure the Rn resistance. Guys, you can see from this data table, we have to examine what are the changes is there. Look, I changes first time this voltage source, I changes say third time this voltage source. So whatever voltage source may be changed, but resistance was not changed anyway. Look, this Rn V by I is the same for this all purpose, because in this circuit no resistance was changed. So the equivalent resistance, should be the same. Yes, equivalent resistance should be the same. Whatever may be my voltage source, whatever may be my multimeter voltage source, it may be 110, it may be 110, it may be 9. Nothing is changing this resistance. This resistance is all time same. Okay, because this is the internal resistance. So then don't get confused, just easily relaxly try to imagine these things. Resistance is all time is change, all time is same. Even equivalent resistance, we never change any of this resistance, but we change voltage. So what happens? Resistance is not dependent. Here you can see resistance is independent, because you change this voltage source also. The original voltage source, one time, first time it was 220, second time it became 200, and third time again 220. But this resistance, never change, and because we don't change it, so equivalent resistance also not changed over here. It was fixed. So in this data, you can decide that these resistance are independent, not dependent to others voltage. Okay. So this is the main motive of these things, and you can see that ultimately short circuit current, and is also same. Short circuit current is also same. Okay, and uh, you can see this is the Norton current ISC. It was same, and your resistance also same. So you get the load current. It will also there is the same, but here you can change this voltage source. That's why it was changed. If voltage source is changed, then your current will be changed. Okay. Yes, this short circuit current also change here because due to the change of voltage. Because voltage and current is the proportional as per your Ohm's law. Okay, if resistance is constant, then V is proportional to the I. Okay, so this is your Norton theorem. Once again, I need to change this load resistance. If I increment this load resistance, what happens? Is there any violation of this Norton theorem? We have to see. Look, I just change up to 500 ohm. Look, this is changing the 500 ohm. So if I change this 500 ohm, we have to determine, yes, is that Norton theorem satisfy these rules? If I don't change other resistance, nothing is happened, because you can see all the things are same. First case, we go for the first case, so it should be power, and it should be in the second for the load. Load means this 500 ohm is connected over here. Just simulate. Yes, this is coming 0.02, sorry, 0.206465. Just remember, the last time you have to get this current. Okay, then case 2 is for the short circuit current. So we have to measure the short circuit current. Just make it short, and then simulate it. Yes, short circuit current is 67659, something is given. Now we have to measure the Rn is means the internal resistance. So internal resistance, you have to short this, you have to apply this 9 volt. Again, it's just like your multimeter occupying the 9 volt battery, and then don't short it, have to power it. then you have to simulate it. You can get this is equivalent resistance is 216.67 ohm. Okay, now we are going for the Norton current, Norton circuit. This is Norton equivalent circuit, and this is the load resistance. Now this time is the 500. So there something will be changed. Yes, now see. Look, first time the current was 20465, and last time also by the Norton theorem we can also calculate this is 20465. Oh, okay, this is the ohm. And what will be the internal resistance? Look, I have never changed among these three. So internal resistance also same for this case. I never change any internal resistance. So the never change any three of this resistance. So internal resistance are the same. This is the verification, and you have to verify it by your table. And whenever lots of data is there, then we can't verify this. What are the changes? Then we have to go for the graphical representation, XY graph. Then graph will be changing. Then we can, by seeing this graph, we can understand, yes, there is a change. Okay, and guys, I think this is all about your Norton theorem, and you have to perform it. Okay, you have to perform it on your own hand, so that we can understand that you have do this. Okay, so only less than 1 minute is there. So I stop here. Please join again. Okay, for this next class.